Hello YouTube. Today we're working on the dryer again. I thought it was an electrical problem, but come to find out it was the belt. The belt broke. So what I encountered is you would press the start button and if you really listen, you could hear a noise coming from here. So now I know it was getting power, unlike the other videos and other repairs I posted. Nothing happened. So if you have the same thing, this might be what you have, and you can go right to the problem or order the part. As with all electrical repairs, make sure you unplug the unit, especially with 240. I've took some of the parts apart to check the electrical parts, but I'll try to help you out here for those that this is your first time. To remove this panel, this is what you're working with. Okay, so what you will do is you can either use a putty knife or a flathead screwdriver and gently go in here, and basically what you're doing is pushing this down here and pull out a little bit, and then the same thing on the other side. And once you do, this will come like this, and it will be resting on the bottom right there. So all you do is that in order to remove the lower panel. Once you remove the lower panel, you will see this. And my reading, there was no need to remove this, but since I want to clean this, since it was all full of lint, I mean an incredible amount of lint, which usually that's when the fuses go out. Because of that, it goes above the heat that it's supposed to be on there. I went ahead and removed this. So if yours is pretty clean, you may not want to remove this, but I would recommend it. It's done by removing these 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3 right there. If you have this inside, okay, you will have to remove that. I would recommend removing that, because if you don't, you will not be able to remove this because it'll be in here. So remove your lint holder, and then you will take this out. I have another video that's gotten thousands and thousands of views on how to repair it. If yours is not the belt, if it's an electrical problem, usually I would start right here. The white thing you see, right there. Okay. That's where you want to start with. We see the 2 blue wires. Remove one of them and test for continuity. And if there's no continuity, then that's bad. Go ahead and order that thermal fuse. And then over here in the back of the this right here, right there and there, you will see these 2. You will see this one first, and then this one. What I do, I mean, the easiest thing is to take pictures, of course. But if not, I mark it. For example, R for red wire, B for black wire, okay? And then the same thing. You can just remove one if you want. You don't have to remove both, even though I prefer to remove both. And the same thing. Test for continuity. If you have it, then that's good. Here, test for continuity. If you have it, then it's not that. So all 3 of these that I just went over are good. You can also remove one of these wires here and test your coil, and you should have continuity right here. Okay. Okay, next thing you want to do is flip this back. With this model, just stick say a putty knife under here and here, and it will pop back. Okay, some models you remove the end caps, will come out. Okay, and then you have 2 screws there. Okay, so again, you can see what you're working with. This is what I was doing with the putty knife. Okay, to pop this out. Okay, and then to put it back, you're gonna see here what you got on the back side. Okay, goes in there, and then it slides back in. Next, with 1/4 inch, this will be the easiest. You got 3 screws right here on the top that you'll want to remove. Okay, and then once you remove those 3 screws there, you're going to grab the top here and you're going to lift, and at the same time you're going to pull forward. Okay, so you can see what you were working with. This is why you pulled towards the front, towards you, this on each side. Okay, that's what was grabbing it right there. So that's why you pulled up to get it, and then as you can see, nothing in the back to remove the top. Your next step would be to remove this lower panel. If you didn't already do it, I already explained how to do that, and this is what you'll see next. Next thing you want to do is to remove the door springs. Just remove them like that from the bottom, one on each side. Next, you will want to remove these 1/4 inch screws. There's one on each side. This is on the bottom of the door. Next, if you have it, you want to remove this yellow wire here, right there. It's like for the sensor. Just pull it out with needle nose pliers. Next thing you want to do, this is also will look different on different models, is to remove the door switch wires. This is what it looks like on mine. Okay, this is your front, this is your door. Remove that right there. Next thing you'll want to do is grab this. Oh, I forgot. Actually, you want to remove these 2 screws right here, and you're going to grab this and pull it up. Now, if you see how this is on there, the drum is also resting on there, so you will have to also grab the drum by the front. In my instance, the belt broke, but if your belt was still on, it's easier just to grab the belt as you pull on this. Remember, the bottom of the drum there is resting in here, so gently you may have to move this around, okay, because it is resting on both of these. This is holding it in. But if you do it again gently, so you don't damage anything, you don't have to replace more parts, it should come out pretty easily as you pull up on the front door. Okay, next thing you want to do is remove the drum. It's not being held on by anything. It's just resting on rollers in the back, similar to the ones you saw in the front. So gently you want to lift this up. Again, if the old belt is still on, it's a lot easier. Just grab it and gently pull up and pull it out. Okay, what you want to do after you oh, there you go, that's what it's resting on. But again, on here, because of that clearance, you may have to move it a little bit, but again, it should come up very, very easily. Next thing you want to do is carefully look all around, make sure that it's still in really good shape, both in the front and in the back, and hopefully you don't have to change that also. Next, I would recommend, hopefully you have a shop vac or a good vac or a rag. You can just pretty much grab all this out, as you can see. Okay, this was like this all over the place. Okay, that I had already cleaned out before starting the video. The same thing, your motor, I mean, you definitely want to clean all that right there really good. You want to inspect this all around, all 4 of those, the 2 here, the 2 on the door, make sure they're in good shape. You want to inspect your idle here and here in the motor where it goes. Make sure, again, all that rolls freely and it's not damaged. Okay, now it's going to be, of course, a lot easier in my case that I took these out. You don't have to take these out, of course, if it was just your belt. So as you can see really easily, oops, goes in here, okay, screw there, and the other one goes right there. Okay, so these rollers here were all full of hair here in the front and the back. Quite a little job. That's what's taken me the longest so far. If you're going to clean that also, just be careful with these little plastic things there, washers or whatever there are, that you don't damage them so you don't have to buy new ones. But you know, I would recommend, if you can, clean that out the best you can. Okay, the video taking a lot longer than I thought, so I'm going to make part two to put it together.